Did you check the labels on your honey before you bought it? Honey adulteration has become a global issue, affecting the authenticity of what we consume. In fact, recent tests in the UK revealed a shocking truth. Not a single honey sample passed authenticity checks, according to The Guardian. In 2022, the UK imported more than 38,000 tons of honey from its biggest supplier, China, where there is a known risk of adulteration with sugar syrup. Although these tests were done in the UK, do not think that your country is not affected by honey adulteration. Honey adulteration isn't confined to one nation. It's a worldwide issue. From Europe to Asia, markets are flooded with honey that's been diluted with cheap syrups like corn or rice syrup. These counterfeit products not only mislead consumers, but also erode the trust we've placed in honey as a product. One of the most significant issues is that fake honey is often indistinguishable from genuine honey. While some products might be labeled as 90% honey or indicate a blend from Europe and China, such transparency is uncommon. One might question the reasoning behind blending honey from different continents unless the intent is to adulterate it and reduce costs. Such practices can obscure the honey's origin and quality, making it easier to mask adulteration aimed at producing cheaper products. If you see labels like these, simply avoid them. Unfortunately, avoiding fake honey is not always this simple. Typically, adulterated honey lacks proper labeling, and manufacturers omit crucial information about added substances. This absence of disclosure means consumers cannot rely on ingredient lists to determine a honey's authenticity. So how does real honey become fake? One of the most troubling aspects of honey adulteration is the sophisticated methods used to produce fake honey, making it nearly indistinguishable from the real thing. The process often begins with grains like rice or corn. Manufacturers extract starch from these grains and convert it into sugar, much like how beet sugar is produced. This starch is broken down using enzymes. Where bees use natural enzymes in honey production, these manufacturers employ artificial ones. The enzymes break the starch into simpler sugars, such as glucose and fructose. Once the sugar syrup is created, they may remove the enzymes and start enhancing the mixture to mimic real honey. This involves adding pollen and sometimes a small amount of genuine honey. These additions help the counterfeit product achieve basic nutritional markers, allowing it to pass certain laboratory tests and meet legal definitions of honey under European regulations. However, the fundamental problem is that this product doesn't originate from the nectar of flowers collected by bees. Instead, it's an artificially processed sugar syrup made to resemble honey in taste, texture, and basic composition. The exact methods and additives used are undisclosed, leaving consumers in the dark about what's really in their honey. This industrially produced honey, often imported from countries like China, bears little resemblance to authentic honey made by bees. It undermines the hard work of bees and beekeepers, disconnecting the product from its natural origins and the vital role bees play in our ecosystem. Genuine honey is rich in antioxidants, enzymes, and has antimicrobial properties. Adulterated honey, however, offers little more than empty calories, depriving us of these health benefits. This deceptive practice not only fools consumers, but also poses challenges for regulators and honest beekeepers. The fake honey can pass standard tests designed to authenticate honey. This means it's not just about mislabeling, it's about a systematic approach to mimic honey's properties artificially. By understanding how fake honey is produced, we can better appreciate the importance of supporting genuine honey producers and the need for more rigorous testing and transparency in the industry. Honey isn't alone in this plight. Many foods we consider staples have been compromised. Olive oil diluted with inferior oils, spices laced with fillers, and watered-down juices are just a few examples. The industrial pursuit of profit often overshadows the commitment to quality and purity. Food adulteration does not only affect our health when consumed, but it also damages our environment and could lead to the extinction of certain species. bees are disappearing from our world due to honey adulteration. Today, we rely heavily on beekeepers to maintain bee populations in nature, acting as guardians of these essential pollinators. The influx of cheap, adulterated honey into the market drives down prices, making it financially unsustainable for honest beekeepers to continue their operations. When beekeepers cannot compete with the low prices of fake honey, many are forced to reduce the size of their apiaries or abandon beekeeping altogether. This decline in beekeeping activity can lead to fewer managed honeybee colonies, which are essential for pollinating a large variety of crops that make up our food supply. Bees play a critical role in pollinating over 70% of the crops that feed 90% of the world. Without them, ecosystems crumble and food supplies dwindle, posing a dire threat to global food security. But there's hope. And it starts with us. By choosing to buy honey from trusted sources, we support beekeepers and ensure we're getting real virgin honey. Reading labels, asking questions, and being willing to pay a fair price can make a significant difference. Soon, though, you'll be able to ensure the honey's quality by spotting the EuBee seal on the label. Regulatory bodies are stepping up efforts to combat food fraud, but enforcement remains a challenge. Strengthening policies and increasing transparency in the supply chain are crucial steps toward ensuring the honey we consume is authentic. This is what EuBee stands for. Our mission is to drive market change through the power of conscious consumerism. Together, we can ensure transparency, support genuine beekeepers, and protect the environment. The next time you reach for a jar of honey in your favorite supermarket, remember the journey from the beehive to your table. Every jar of real honey purchased is a vote for authenticity, a lifeline for beekeepers, and a step towards a sustainable future. Together, we can turn the tide against honey adulteration and safeguard the tiny pollinators that hold the fabric of our ecosystem together.